So, I just got out of seeing the No Game No Life Zero movie in theaters, which one was my first anime movie in theaters, which was pretty exciting. And two, it was just good. Overall, I mean, the characters were endearing. It took very little time to establish who they were and really get a feel for how their arcs were going to go and what kind of characters they were. It was a really well thought out and planned film overall. Just starting off with the main premise, going back 6,000 years and actually being able to see the war and all the devastation that it had, and how humanity survived and thrived, and dealt with living in such a brutal time without being able to see magic or utilize magic in any way. It was a very interesting plot and direction that they took. And I know it's taken from... I don't know. I believe the storyline is taken from the 6th volume of the light novel, and I haven't made it there yet, unfortunately. But I'm going to get there soon. Just the world in general, it felt the same as the old Discboard that you love from the original No Game No Life, but it has this dark and gritty, really, it's been wartime just from the first couple of seconds of the film. It reminds me of a worse World War II almost. Like, it's nasty and not a very hospitable place. Man, but let's move on to the characters, though. We have Riku, main guy, and he's just this really broken down, numb half the time, emotional and crying out for justice the other half of the time, and he's really young. He's a kid, basically, and you get a sense of his innocence has gotten taken away in the whole fight for survival. And you have original Dola, I don't remember her name, it starts with a C, being the big sister and the like the paternal side to his life that doesn't really get super fleshed out, but the connection is there, and it makes you really understand how he's actually gotten through all these times, is because he's had a really good support system around him with her and everyone else. But he takes all of the blame onto himself and just burdens himself so much. And it comes across so well. And then you have Main Girl, which is interesting because Main Girl, Shuai, something similar to that. She's actually an ex machina that's been, like, disposed of, basically, and she's just kind of roaming around. And her journey is more of trying to realize what the human heart is and what emotions and feeling and everything are, because she's a robot. She's something like an android or whatever, or something similar to that. And through meeting Riku, who's this super opinionated, emotional, really driven person, she gets a view of what being human is like and everything like that. And I mean, just her arc in general just was like, oh, my heart, jeez. Oh man, why? Just it just hurts constantly, but it was so well done and in such a short amount of time. I cared about the characters. Like, their struggles and everything became very important. And I can understand why someone going into the film would be hesitant on watching it, because it's like there's no connection there from the original series to this movie. And I can see that, but after watching it, there are a lot of parallels that the movie makes to the characters in the actual series, No Game, No Life. And seeing how Tet, the one true God, at this point, rose, or like came to power, I think you can just tell that it's just well done overall. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, which is why I'm trying to cut myself with words, because it's kind of just improv. But overall, I think it's a movie worth watching. I'm glad I paid money for it. I think that was an experience for me that I probably won't get again, because I love No Game, No Life. I mean, I've bought the light novels to it. I've rewatched the 12 episode series tons of times. I think 4 or 5 now, just because the world is so creative. And again, seeing the origin to all that, and then seeing where it is now and being able to compare the two was really nice to have just that in the back of my head when I go in reading this and everything. And we gotta go back and see what Jibril was like when she was a badass death angel, basically, and she was badass. Whoa. But I mean, even for all the action and all the beautiful animation and everything, for me, the story was carried by the character interactions between Riku and Shuai, or however you pronounce her name. Whoever wrote this just fantastic, and the voice actors they got were exactly what I wanted in the voices. Perfect. And I have a sneaking suspicion that we're gonna see a second season to No Game, No Life. There was a interview thing beforehand, and they were kind of talking about the movie and the original series. They had a bunch of English voice actors, and the English voice actors kept saying season 1 of No Game, No Life. That makes me think that there's probably going to be another season, which I am okay with. Super okay. I want this to be real. But it might just be season 1 and then the movie. Might just want to have to differentiate that, since they're both called No Game, No Life. But, yeah, I'm going to wrap this up and get back to you later. Thanks for watching, I guess, or whatever. This has just been fucking me rambling about, but, yeah, no. Thanks. Hopefully it'll work out. Oh, and my light is dying. Okay, bye! Also, one more thing I forgot to mention in my little speech thing. The music was fantastic. Especially the theme song, I would highly suggest checking out, and I'm going to link to a video that is the song, obviously. But I'm going to link to it in the description, and so you can listen for yourself. It's beautiful and a departure from the normal No Game No Life feel. So, yeah.